I'm Mathilde Høj, and this is SEO in 2024 Additional Insights.
Mathilde, what's your additional insight for SEO in 2024?
My additional insight is that you shouldn't forget about TikTok SEO. TikTok is the future platform, future search engine for Generation Z, so it is very important.
You say Generation Z, I say Generation Z, but we know what we're talking about there.
Yeah.
Only that particular generation. I mean, what happens to X, Y, and also even Generation Alpha? They're starting to get into their teens as well, aren't they?
They are, and that's also why TikTok can't be overlooked. It's the platform for Gen Z, but also the younger generation and the older ones, for that matter. The older ones are also joining the platform each day. So it is a platform that has a lot of potential, despite being a very new platform, but also a platform that is already a quite big channel in itself.
Understood. So what you're essentially saying is that the majority of the users that initiated the use of the platform were from Generation Z, but over time, over the last year or so, you've seen more X and Y and maybe Generation Alpha getting into it as well.
Yeah, exactly. They are all joining. It's not just singing and dancing videos anymore. It's so much more. It's everything you want it to be. I would dare to say that you can find anything on TikTok. You can sell cars on there. You can get inspiration on where to eat. You can see videos on how to clean your fridge or how to do your hair or how to knit a sweater and stuff like that. So everything you want to find on TikTok, you can find it.
Yeah, because it originally started off as Musical.ly, didn't it? And so that's why it started off with lots of music videos and then it evolved into, I guess, more general videos.
Yeah, exactly. It started as Musical.ly and was bought. ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns TikTok, bought Musical.ly and turned it into TikTok. So yeah, a lot of the original videos were singing and dancing, but now it's just turned into so much more. And I also think that's why many people overlook it, because they think it's still singing and dancing. It's something that the young kids do to pass time, but it's not that anymore.
So you say a lot of the younger generation actually use TikTok as a search engine. So how does TikTok work as a search engine?
On TikTok, you have the For You page, which is where the main activity is going on. So the algorithm on TikTok will recommend you videos that you watch. But if you want to search internally on TikTok, that's one way to do it. But also TikTok has an algorithmic search function, which comes up in the comment section sometimes, and the algorithm will scan the comment section and see what are people talking about, and then give a recommendation at the top. Is this something you want to search for internally on TikTok?
Okay, so it's a combination between a discovery channel and a more conventional search channel then.
Yes, exactly. It's important to say the algorithmic one is not always accurate. I've seen a lot of videos where it was present, but where it didn't make any sense for what went on in the video or in the comment section. So I wouldn't necessarily focus on that one, but the internal search function is where we want to be, especially because we see Wikipedia snippets get pushed to that search interface. We see Google search results getting pushed into the interface as well, and ads, of course, also.
Okay, so the internal search function is where we want to be, you say. So how, as an SEO, do you optimize to be there?
So when optimizing on TikTok, you first of all need to understand the algorithm. And what impacts the algorithm is the video information, your profile information. It's how users interact with your video. It's the device they're using. It's the account settings, so what language they're speaking and what country they're based in. But it's also how much time they spend on each video. So it's really important that when you do make TikTok videos, that you make sure you're hooking your audience within the first 2 seconds. But of course, when taking all of these 4 things into account, you also need to find those keywords that you need to put into your descriptions and into your profile and into your captions and so on. And if you're saying things out loud, you need to say those keywords. So keyword research is fundamental in all things SEO, also TikTok SEO.
Hooking your audience in the first 2 seconds sounds particularly scary. So there must be a set of things that work well and a set of things that are a bad idea to do. So maybe, can you cover both there? What are some good things to be doing in the first 2 seconds, and what are some mistakes that you're seeing video producers make?
The most important thing on TikTok, not only in the first 2 seconds, but in the entire video, is the sound. So you have to use a sound that's either trending or a sound that will catch the attention immediately of the user. That's a good thing to do when doing TikTok videos.
And is that a musical sound, sorry, or is that actually just you saying something?
It can be both. So both you doing a voiceover, but also using a sound, like it could be funny sounds, it could also be music pieces that have been remixed and stuff like that. So just sound in general, use that. And then talk into a certain talk, as it's called. We have hashtags on TikTok that's called either hair talk, book talk, clean talk. And if you speak to those hashtags and those audiences, then you will hook that audience much easier within the first 2 seconds. If you, let's say you have a product, a hair care product that you want to sell to the hair talk community, then a good way to hook that audience is to talk about it in the beginning, or show the product in the beginning, or write something about the product in the beginning, so the user know what the video is about immediately.
So what sounds or visual elements do you see in the first 2 seconds that make you just want to scroll past and not interested in watching it further?
Typically, it would be if there weren't any captions on the video itself. So if you have a sound that you're using, or if you're speaking and you haven't made the text on the screen, that would be a wrong move to say.
Does it have to be the full caption, or can it be just a headline or a sub-headline of what you're talking about?
It can be a headline or sub-headline, but the best way to do it, if it's not automated, the captions, it would be to put the whole captions in it, or just have a headline. So how to do your hair with this curling iron or something like that.
Okay, and you mentioned the word audience a couple of times. So is it important for SEOs to determine if their target audience exists on TikTok, or does everyone exist on TikTok now?
Oh, that's a tricky one. Everyone exists on TikTok, but it is, as I said earlier, mostly Generation C. So of course you need to do that audience research. You need to know whether or not your audience is present on the platform, because if you're selling, for example, a B2B product, your core audience that you target in all of your other marketing activities might not be present on TikTok yet. So of course, if they're not, it's not the right platform for you. But in general, I would say your audience would be on the platform. It's just how you're going to target that audience in the platform that might be different from what you're doing in all of the other marketing channels that you are targeting.
And what about keyword research? Do you have to conduct keyword research?
Yeah, I would do it normally for Google first, and then choose the most important ones from that keyword research and put into TikTok and see what's already trending, what videos are performing well already on the platform. We don't have any, not yet at least, any TikTok-specific keyword research tools for this. TikTok has their own called keywordsinsights.ai, I think, but it's very ads focused and not SEO focused. So I would do it that way.
Okay, so when it comes to keywords, then focus on more traditional tools first of all. But I guess when it comes to content, focus on TikTok first of all, and don't use pre-existing content to publish on TikTok.
Exactly. The main thing that TikTok users loves about the platform is the uniqueness of the platform. It's the uniqueness of the content on the platform and how the algorithm is tailored, and the For You page where all of the content exists is tailored to each user. So that also goes when you're making TikTok videos or when you're doing ads on the platform. You need to tailor them to the platform so they become TikTok native and not, like you said, use creatives from Meta or Snapchat or Twitter and use that on TikTok. That's not going to work.
Is it possible and a good idea to have a call to action from a TikTok video and be able to measure traffic from TikTok?
It could be. It depends on how you use the platform. If you use it to spread awareness about your brand or your product, I would say just let the content live organically and then have the links to your website and stuff like that in your profile, or leave a comment in the comment section with that link to your website. If you're using it more like a sales channel, then definitely put it in the description. But keep in mind that the users are there to be entertained and not to be sold stuff to.
Okay, but you did say you could potentially use it as a sales channel. I mean, are people open to watching videos, having things sold to them on TikTok?
They are more interested in the inspiration part, but you can sell products. We have a clean talk or organizing talk, I think it's called reorganizing talk, something like that, where we see people stock up on their office essentials like pens and stuff like that that you have at your desk. And they will link to their Amazon storefront page where users can buy these products. And this is a very big sales channel, Amazon storefronts, and many people tap into that because people get inspiration from how other people organize their desk or their fridge or their cabinets. So they will get that inspiration and go buy those products to do the same thing. And that will be the same across other products as well.
Interesting. So that almost sounds like Pinterest.
Yeah, it is somewhat like Pinterest, but in a combination with Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and it's like a combination platform.
So what's the best publishing schedule on TikTok? How often should you publish videos?
To make sure that you are not forgotten about in the algorithm, I would say at least once a day. Not multiple times a day, because then they will lap over each other, the videos. But if you go too long without posting anything, the algorithm will make it harder for you to push your content. So I will not say over a week apart, but every other day.
And is there anything else apart from producing great quality content and publishing on a frequent basis that you can do to enhance the chances of that content being discovered on TikTok?
You have to find your own way to do it. So it's really hard to give a specific way for a brand or a product to do TikTok SEO. You need to find what works with your product and what makes it more organic, viable, if you could say that. One example that I like to use is with Duolingo, a language app. They have this owl that's their mascot, and they will use this very actively on the platform. And it's known for being a very sassy bird, and it will roast other people, it will roast users, it will roast other companies. So that's the way they have chosen to use TikTok, but not explicitly, selling their product, which is translation.
So you've shared what SEO should be doing in 2024. Now let's talk about what SEO shouldn't be doing. So what's something that's seductive in terms of time, but ultimately counterproductive? What's something that SEO shouldn't be doing in 2024?
So it's not related to TikTok specifically, but we do see a lot of structured data getting removed from websites because of the removal of rich results, FAQ rich results, and Q&A rich results in the search results. So we do see a lot of clients beginning to remove that structured data that they've already implemented. And that would be a very counterproductive thing to do, because data about data is always a good idea, especially in this AI generation or era that we're living in right now.
Okay, so educate the AI, and if you don't do that, others will rank above you.
Yeah.
Mathilde Høj is SEO manager at Transact Denmark, and you can find her over at omctransact.dk. majestic.dk. Mathilde, thanks so much for adding your additional insight to SEO in 2024.
Thank you.
I've been your host, David Bain. You've been listening to an episode of SEO in 2024 Additional Insights, a Majestic series that complements the original SEO in 2024 podcast, video series, and book. Find out more at SEOin2024.com.